All right, you guys. Well, welcome to our mid-month midway rally call as a Team Brave Collective. I'm so excited to see all of you here. If you can, I love to see faces. I see a lot of black boxes, black screens. Pop them on. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're folding laundry, if you're shoving food down your throat, if you're driving in a car. Focus on the road, but I'd love to see your face. It just makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself here. But I am so excited to have all of you here. There's some beautiful faces I see pop up. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it makes me feel so much better. I'm not talking to a computer box. Thank you guys so much. I'm so excited you are here because, guys, this call, we don't have them every Tuesday. We have them first Tuesday, third Tuesday, and typically the last Tuesday of the month. But please make note that we will be doing our final call on September 23rd, which is next Tuesday, because the 30th is the final day of the month. I don't want to take our time on the final day of the month doing a call. I want you guys to go and chase your dreams, chase your goals, and help your people. Okay. So our final call will be on September 23rd, but we use these calls to connect, to learn, to be inspired. And midway calls, we use them. Hang on, let me mute everybody again real quick. There we go. Mute all. We use these midway calls to reset, refocus, okay, reignite some energy. Put a 1 in the chat if you need some refocusing because September has been a little crazy. Put a 1 in the chat if you need some recentering, resetting, or reigniting. I don't know about you guys, but I have felt it, okay? And so I want to start the call with a little bit of some training, and then we're going to pass it over to some leaders. But I want to tell you guys something because we've got a lot of new faces on our team. But I want to remind the veteran faces of something too. We are at midway, and I want to offer you a breath or a sigh of relief. If by halfway of the month you are sitting at about 1/3 of your goal volume, okay, 1/3 of your goal volume, you're actually right on track. If you're a little under, you can come above that, okay? A lot of times people feel like if with volume, let's say I'm just going to make math really easy. Let's say you're going for a 10,000 rank. Oh, by halfway of the month, I've got to be at 5,000 because that's halfway. That's not necessarily the case. If you were at halfway of your goal volume, you'd actually probably fly back past it. Okay. Instead, you want to goal for around 1/3 of the total volume because why? A lot of our volume comes at the end of the month. Like it or hate it or leave it or take it, whatever you want. People tend to tune in at the end of the month a little bit more. They're following up with their customers, they're securing orders, they're maybe pushing for their goal. So you naturally will see an upswing in your volume. Okay. And so if you are around that 1/3, you're pacing, you're tracking. Okay. You're not behind. So I just want you to take a deep breath. I want you to shake off any stress you've been feeling. I want you to feel the energy and I want you to remind yourself, I'm in the game. Okay. I want you to put it in the chat. I'm in the game. I'm still here. September is still here and we are going to push. In fact, I've spoken with a lot of you recently and a lot of you are up, which is incredible. Okay. Some of you might be having a different type of month and that is okay too. We as a team are tracking. We are right on track. So I'm really proud of you guys. We are doing incredible. So this is your moment tonight to get pumped, to realign your actions with some goals. Remember why you got started. Remember that fire that you had on September 1, and that September is not done. Do not wish or 1 month away yourself away from a goal. How many of you, raise your hand, be honest. Have you ever gone, oh gosh, this month just got away with me. I'll just try again next month. Raise your hand if you've ever done that. Okay, me too. I've done it. I regret it every stinking time I do it. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. I want you to look around at the faces on this call. And I want you to remember that these are the faces, the humans, the beautiful souls that we are linking arms with and that are linking arms with you. This is your team. This is your team where we dream together, where we make things happen together, where we rise together. There is no ceiling. There is no cap. I believe in this group. You guys believe in this group. And I know without a doubt, September is going to be one of our biggest months. And it's going to be great. Why? Because we here on Brave Collective choose to be great. Okay. That is it. We choose to make impact. All right. So that leads me into a really quick little training I'm going to do, about 4 minutes, and then I'm going to pass it over to Amy Spence to take it off. But I want to remind you guys to be bold in September.
Hey, can I interrupt for a second?
Yep.
Can y'all turn your cameras on? Like, I would much rather be upstairs hanging out with my husband. I leave on Thursday for a week. And so if I'm going to take time out of my night, I at least want to see some faces, okay? It's really hard to train. And I just flipped through the pages, and about 75% of this call is black boxes. I understand there are things, if you're naked in the bathtub or you're nursing your baby, or I've had some crazy things in the last couple of years or last decade on my call. So just, but if you're just sitting around, if you don't feel pretty, it's okay. If you're watching TV with your husband, you got your headphones on, it's okay. Just let us see your beautiful faces. Thanks, Sarah.
Awesome. So let's be bold in September, okay? So I want you to shift into a quick but powerful teaching moment tonight. And it's all centered around the word bold, okay? Bold. Here's what I know. Here's what I know. I know, because I've been in this for 12 years, which means I've had 12 years of month ends. I've had, what is that, 86? No, 144. 144. 12 times 12. 144 month ends. Okay, I've seen this, all right, that timid actions never create great results. Timid actions never create great results. It doesn't. Being tentative doesn't inspire people to go and do things. What we are doing here, leadership, influence, is creating positive impact, creating positive change, right? If you want results, you've got to be bold. You can't be timid. People are going to pick up on that. You can't be hesitant. People are going to pick up on that. You can't be tentative, meaning lukewarm, halfway in, halfway out. It doesn't work. Okay. We have to not have half-hearted attempts to create full-time freedom. And maybe you're going, well, Tara, I don't want a full-time job. That's not what I'm talking about, right? We can't be half-hearted attempts to change lives. Okay. If you want full-time freedom, however you define that, right? However you define that, you have to not have half-hearted attempts. Fear is going to be the biggest thief of this opportunity. Write it down. It's not going to be your lack of skill. It's not going to be your lack of influence. It's not going to be this thing that you've got to figure out, or that thing you've got to overcome, or that script didn't work for you. Nope. The biggest thing that is going to hold you back and steal this opportunity from you, literally steal it from underneath your nose, is your own personal fear. It's your own personal fear. And so when I look at this number, or this month, I don't just see numbers and volume. I see a mission field here. We are on a mission field. I see conversions that matter. I see lives that are willing to be impacted because you decide to show up. Boldness looks like sending that extra message when you feel tired, right? Who's tired? I'm a little tired, I'm not gonna lie. Today's been a long day, okay? But guess what I'm gonna do? I've got another Zoom after this to welcome a new brand partner. I've got some messages I need to follow up with. I've got somebody asking for a Zoom. You better believe I'm gonna do it, right? Because there are people out there that want this, right? Boldness looks like going live sometimes, even when your hair isn't perfect, turning your camera screen on, even when you don't feel pretty. Hi, hello, you all are pretty. Newsflash, right? Boldness looks like telling somebody about these products and this opportunity, not worrying about what they're going to think, right? We can't project our own fears onto somebody. Not only is our own fear going to stop and rob us of this opportunity, but if we project, good gosh, let's double dip here. If I take my fears and put it on somebody else, is that going to serve me or them? Absolutely not. What does Garrett say? My upline, your upline. He always says, go find those that are looking. We are looking for those that are looking. How are you going to find them? You got to talk, right? You got to talk. Stand confident in what we have to offer here. People don't follow perfection. They don't. In fact, people tend to resonate towards imperfection, right? Proving that you're a little human, that you make mistakes, that you react, that you maybe are not great at grammar sometimes, or you're not the best writer, or your pictures aren't perfect. They want to know the real you. Okay. They don't follow polished, they follow bold. They follow impassioned people, people that seek to serve. They follow conviction. They follow someone who knows where they're going and refuses to shrink back. Would you guys follow me if I had like a timid reaction of like, yeah, I mean, I think we can all kind of do this. Like, yeah, who wants to try with me? Would you guys be like, yes, let's go? No, you wouldn't at all. Okay. You guys follow and lead with this team because I deeply believe in it, which allows you to deeply believe in it, which inspires you to deeply believe in it. You've got to have that same thing, even if you're leading somebody yet or not. Okay. So here's my challenge to you tonight. Where have you been holding back? Where have you been holding back? Probably 90% of you right then had an idea in your head. Nod your head if you had an idea in your head. Where have I been holding back? Boom, you probably had a thought. I want you to write it down. Where have you been waiting for the perfect time? Oh, I'll message her when I see her in 2 weeks at the luncheon. You're just delaying, delaying, delaying. Oh, I'll do this when this feels right. On my live tonight in Bravenly Insiders, I talk about how I found this industry and how I had my life all perfectly planned out prior to network marketing and how I was going to do something totally different. And it was because of my husband and I in our first year, we got surprise pregnant that took us down a path. And I thought I had to have everything figured out before having a baby. Oh my goodness, I had to have my finances in order and this in order and this in order, right? Everything had to be perfect for me to react or behave. What are you waiting for to be perfect? The perfect words, the perfect situation, newsflash, doesn't exist. Okay, doesn't exist. You being imperfectly perfect exists. Let me tell you, there is no perfect time. The time is now. Write it down. The time is right now. The time is right now. If anything we've seen the past month is that life is fragile, right? Life is fragile. The time is now to make impact. Okay. September is here. We are here to make impact. And I want for you to for the rest of this month to anchor in 3 things. Okay. I want you to anchor in 3 things. Let me come back over here. Number 1, I want you to remind yourself actions first, results second. And this is what Amy Spence is going to talk about tonight. She's going to expand on this. Okay. Speak with conviction. If you believe that this is good, hang on, guys. I just had a baby run in. Ah, can you take her out? Can you take her out? So sorry. I thought I locked my door. And there is real life, friends. There is real life. Life with 5 kids. Okay. Actions first, results second. Don't wait to feel like it. Move first. And Amy Spence is going to talk and expand on this. Number 2, I want you to speak with conviction. Speak with conviction. Post on social media with conviction. Talk in your stories with conviction. Have those messages filled with conviction. If you don't believe that this is good, why would anybody else? Right? You have to let your words carry that belief. Okay? And number 3, I want you to push past fear. Push past fear. Fear's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. It's never going to completely go away, but courage is deciding to do it in spite of the fear. Courage is deciding to do it anyway. And I promise you, when you finish this month boldly and going, man, I leaned in, you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to have honored yourself. You're going to have honored the impact that you could have made. You're not just going to hit numbers. You're going to look back and you're going to realize that you became stronger. You became braver. You became a more unstoppable version of yourself. Who wants that? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to experience that. All of us do. And all of us can. So I want you to be bold. I want you to push hard. I want you to make September great because we aren't just halfway over. No, the cup is halfway full. Okay. We are looking at it halfway full, you guys. positivity. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Amy Spencer. She's going to talk about actions first, results second.
Hello, hello. Okay, sorry for my team who's on here tonight. I talked about this last night on our team call, but do not get off because there will be people speaking after me, and it's a something you can hear twice. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Natalie Mueller. Hello, Natalie, my BFF out there. Okay, so I'm going to talk about actions before results, okay? Or action leads to results. You got to have the actions before you get the results. And I'm going to be really honest. I felt like it was put on my heart to share this with my team last night because I think oftentimes we focus so much on the results. We focus on the enrollments. Boom contests or we're counting down. We focus on the rank. We focus on what's your goal? What's your number goal? How are you going to get there? All the things, right? But we seldom talk about, and maybe we talk about it, but we seldom focus and celebrate the action. And for me, I'm going to kind of relate it to sports. I'm a big sports girl and it just makes sense in my brain. But I feel like sometimes we look at a leaderboard or we look at someone else's highlight reel and we think that they may know something that we don't know, right? We think that there is some secret. Maybe you see Tara, maybe Tara enrolled you and then Tara enrolled a girl a month later and that girl that enrolled after you is already the vice president and you're just like, what does she know or what is Tara teaching her that Tara is not teaching me, right? But I want you to know that someone's success never happened in one giant leap. You didn't see the years before, or you didn't see their networks, you didn't see what they did before, or things like that. So success happens with dozens of small unseen actions that stack up over time. So let's talk about the gap between the action and results. We obsess over the results. Like we obsess over it, you guys. I know some of you do. I'm guilty of it. We obsess over the paychecks, or maybe it was the title or the enrollment number, or maybe it's, am I in the top five or am I Amy's first vice president? Am I Tara's first vice president? But results are delayed. I want to tell you that again. Results are delayed. They're also like a scoreboard in a game. It only updates you after you played the plays. Do you guys realize that, the score doesn't go up in football until after the goal is or the football, they cross the touchdown line or they get a touchdown. In basketball, your score doesn't go up by 2 until someone shoots and scores. So if you guys think about it, it's delayed. Just like our results are going to be delayed. So what we can control, let's talk about what we can control, right? We can control the actions. What are these actions? Sending the message, doing the follow-up, putting up the host of posts, expanding your network, sharing your post, talking in your story, going live, getting out of your getting out of your comfy zone, going and setting up at a gym, calling a chiropractor office, inviting someone to take a look, using our third-party tools. It should be a goal of yours to put 1 to 5 people every single day in our partner preview page and in our, the sip and share page. So the truth is your scoreboard will always catch up to your action. It just lags a little bit behind. That's why people quit on you too early. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been in this business and you've already had someone quit on you. Girlfriend, boyfriend, if there's any boys on here, I hate to, we do have some men on our team. It's going to happen. People are not going to wait on that scoreboard. They're going to put in action for 30 days or 20 days and, they're going to expect the results. You guys, the greatest basketball player, in my opinion, Michael Jordan, he did not make the varsity basketball team at his high school. What if he would have given up? Or maybe it was his ninth grade team. I don't know. But he did not make one of his high school teams. What if he would have given up, you guys? What if he would have quit? And that is what happens with so many people we introduce to this opportunity. So many people. So when you're partnering with people, it's good to have big goals with them, but you also have to make sure they understand this concept. You have to put in the action before you get results, right? And so that's why planting seeds is so important. I'm going to talk about a seed tonight. Tara and I have a Zoom right after this with someone I talked to in April or May. She's from a previous company or prior company. And I can't tell you how many times she ghosted us this summer. I sent her products. I literally thought this girl was never going to join. I mean, really, honestly. And then all of a sudden I woke up this morning to a text saying I'm ready. You guys, I'm telling you, they're watching you. But what if I wouldn't have talked about Bravenly? What if she's the one person that's going to change everything for me? What if I hadn't followed up with her? I never had a 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by without communication, and it's been over 4 months. 4 months. What if? But once again, the action that I took, being consistent with reels, being consistent on my social media, being consistent in her face, messaging her when she ignored me. I think I even messaged her of Happy 4th of July and she straight up ignored me. Who does that? But here's the deal. She's saying yes tonight. It's her perfect timing. So that is a score for me on my scoreboard. So let me just break this down. If you want to write this down, I'm going to end with this. If you want to write this down, this is kind of what's mind blowing to me. And I said this last night to my team. And I wonder if you're on my team and you were on my team call, put a one in the chat if you did this. And if some of you are like, I don't want to put a one in the chat because I didn't do it. Go do it before you go to bed. So if you do 3 reach outs a day, 3 reach outs a day, that's 90 in a month. Okay. 90 in a month. You guys, all of you have more than 90 friends. All of you know more than 90 people if you would just sit down quietly with your notebook and a pen and paper, okay? You can do 90 reach outs. If you can literally say to me, I don't have anyone to reach out to, then you are not doing the other part of the first part of our whole entire professional title. You're not networking. You're not growing your network. So go do something out of your routine to go meet new people or do something on social media about that. But if you reach out to 3 people a day for 30 days, that's 90 a month. If 10% say yes, that's 9 new people in your business. If 5% say yes, that's 4.5 people in your business this month. If 5%, if 1% say yes, 1%, I guarantee you, who's sitting at 0 enrollments this month? Put a 2 in the chat. Who's sitting at 0 customers and 0 brand partners? I am not calling you out. There's been plenty of times. Put a 1 in the chat. 0 enrollments. Okay, you have 2. Thank you, Chrissy, for being honest. Thank you, Mercedes. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, you guys are on here tonight. You could be doing so many other things than being on here. So I want you to pat yourself on the back and say, you want this, but it's the 15th of the month or 16th, so 16 times 3, someone do that math. Have you done that many reach outs? 16 times 3? If not, go catch up. All right? 1% of 90 people can be that one that comes into your organization that changes everything. And here's really where I'm going to end at. When you do this, guess what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Your team sees you doing it. Your team knows when you don't do it. I know when Tara is on her off game. That because I talk to her that much. She knows the same about me. Your team, your downlines see what you're doing. So if you think by putting a post up, you can sit there and say and fool your downline and think that you're really working by putting a post up, you're not. You're not fooling them, guys. They're smarter than that. So when they see you do it, they copy it. That's how duplication works. You multiply your results without multiplying your hours when you start doing this and your team starts doing this, okay? And I'm going to tell you, this is where I'm going to end at. Small term sacrifices equal long-term results. There are some things 12 years in the industry that I will not sacrifice on. But right now, with Bravenly, with the way that we are and we're growing and all that, I left my daughter's volleyball game early last night. Yes, I know she's in a boot and she can't play. But guess what? She still wants her mama there. But I left because I had a team call and then a SD and above call afterwards. And some of you are like, you are a horrible mom. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I'm not. I don't want to be 50 working 70 hours a week, worried about not going to see my daughter and my future grandchildren if they decide to live in Alaska, worried about how we're going to retire, worried about Shepard giving me all the gray hair because he'll just be in high school, maybe even middle school at that point. I don't want to worry about that. So the small term sacrifices right now, because I know what this business is going to do. I know what this company is going to do because I've walked this walk before with the company and I didn't get in this early, guys. I know what's about to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. So I'm willing to sacrifice that. And guess what? My 13-year-old understands it because I had a conversation. How many of you have had a conversation with every single member of your family? So when you are making those short-term sacrifices for the long term, they understand. If not, that's the first thing you needed to do because in order to get to where you want to go in this company, your whole entire family has to be on board and they have to know why you're doing this. So it's actions versus results. And you want your family on board because most of the time the actions don't happen because you use your why as an excuse to not do the actions. Okay? I love y'all.
I love it. She always brings the fire, you guys. I'm like, yes, yes. And then she ends, and I'm like, what? Oh, you're done? Oh, I could have leaned in some more.
I would
I
talk
love it.
forever. I gotta go. Two
No,
more people are on.
I love it. I'm like, there were so many good one-liners, and you just pump us up. But golly, I want to reiterate really quickly, and then we're moving over to Ashley Harden. What you just said, so many of us use our why as our excuse. Did y'all catch that? Did you catch what she said? Like, that is woo. That's powerful. That is powerful. I want you to apply that in your own mind right now. What is your why? Are you using your why as your excuse? Whew. All right, we're moving on. Ashley Harden, go for it.
Oh my gosh. Amy, you just like took my breath away. And see, I was wearing I'm trying to get your vibes going. So I'm wearing the sweatshirt today. All right. So guys, thanks for having me today. But I'm gonna kind of piggyback a lot on what Amy says, and that way, and then we'll leave with Brianna. But let me just ask you something. And I think my door just opened. So hopefully apologize if like someone comes in. But think about how many hours God gave us in a week. Okay. If you know how many hours he gave us, drop it in the chat. I want to see. Do you know off the top of your head how many hours that he gives us in a week? If you can do the math, I want to just think about that. How many hours does he gives us every week? Anybody know? Oh, Tara's smart. She's the math queen. So you're right. 160 hours, guys. That is a lot of hours. So, here's the truth. A lot of times we are thinking, our problem is the time, that we don't have enough time. But here's what we have to think about is that we have to prioritize that time. What is important to us? A lot of us here on this team, I know there's a lot of them here that have full-time jobs. They work 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week, working a 9 to 5. And we collect that paycheck. And yes, hopefully it pays the bills. But deep down, does it align with the dream that God placed in your heart? Because, guys, we would not be here if that dream was not placed in our heart, right? Amen to that. Okay. Say yes. You are here because he placed something in our heart and we pray about it and we ask God to bless us. We ask what does he do? He gives us these dreams. He gives us these visions. He puts solutions right in our lap, right? What do we have right now in our hands, right now in our laps that we know of, right? We have Bravenly right here. And when we think of it, when we, get on our site, when we just decided to jump all in, we got excited. We could see our possibilities. We imagine what life could be with when we stepped into that dream, that energy, that joy, the purpose. Just go back. I mean, some of us could go back, I know Tara and we could go back 2 years from now. And we remember when the excitement, being scared, just all the possibilities of what our hopes and dreams could be when we signed up that day, right? But then after that, what happens? The lies start coming in, right? I don't have the time. People are going to make fun of me. People will laugh at me. I'm too shy. I don't have the social media presence. I don't have a lot of followers. People are going to judge me. I don't know what I'm doing. All the excuses, right? But we all start with the same thing, right? We can all come up with excuses. We all are busy. We all have, different things in our lives. But before we know it, sometimes when those lies kind of creep in, what do we do with that dream? We put it on the shelf. We put it on the back burner. Okay. We go to being comfortable. We just keep going back to collecting that paycheck. Okay. Going back to feeling drained, going back to feeling stressed, unfulfilled, right? I hear that every single day. And guys, to be honest, sometimes I feel it too. Okay. I'm not perfect. My eyes is not completely on the prize too. But let me tell you something that's really powerful, right? God can't bless where you refuse to move. Okay. God cannot bless where you refuse to move. And we have to remember that, okay? That dream that he gave us, it wasn't random. It wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a mistake. There's no mistake of why we're here, okay? This was designed to be a blessing for you, your family, for the people around you to make an impact, okay? So here's the deal. It does take something from you, okay? I wish someone would come knocking on my door and say, here's $1,000 or $100,000, every single year. But guys, it doesn't work like that. Okay. It takes risk. It takes something from you. It takes sacrifice, just like Amy was saying. Guys, she had to sacrifice, leaving her kids' volleyball game. I would have a hard time with that too. Okay. Amy knows volleyball. I love it. Okay. But it requires stepping into the unknown with our faith. And that is so important. It's scary. People may laugh. People may say hurtful things to you guys. Trust me, we've all experienced that. I know Amy's experienced that. I've experienced that. Tara's experienced. We've all experienced those people saying hurtful things, or our closest family and friends not supporting you. All right, it happens, but staying faithful to it, showing up even when it's not convenient, even when it's uncomfortable. God will meet you where you are and meet you there, okay? Because his blessings always follows obedience. And y'all know that, okay? And every single one of us has distractions. And just like I said, we have things pulling us away from our dreams. Life happens, I hear sometimes, well, you don't understand. You've never been through stuff like before. No, because I don't verbally put it out there. Now, Tara may hear it from me, okay, but no one on my team may hear it from me, right? We have family responsibilities, we have work stress, we have fears, all those things don't go away. But the difference is this, and this is the difference between some of us, okay? Some people allow those things to control them, while there are others that rise up and say, no more. I refuse to let fear run my life. I refuse to waste the hours God gave me. God doesn't want you being drained. Granted, I know, like, we can work. And I understand that. Okay. A lot of us work, 9-to-5 jobs, and then we have to do this in our, whatever you want to call, spare time and stuff like that, those nuggets of the day. But he doesn't want you to be stuck. He wants you living in the purpose that he placed you in. There's no mistake that we're here. But it starts with you choosing how to act. Now, Amy talked about all the different things that we should be doing on a daily basis. So I'm not going to go into all that, but we need to choose to move. We need to choose to use those 160 hours wisely. Okay. So I'll leave you with this. Are you going to waste the time you've been given, letting fears and excuses win? Or are you ready to step into dream what God has already placed in your heart? So the time is now, just like Tara says, okay, it's September. He says the time is now. And if you stay faithful, consistent, and willing to do the work, and just like Amy said, sometimes we've had years of experience, okay? So our day one and your day one may look different, all right? But he will bless it far more than you can imagine. And I'm out.
I love it. I love it. You preached to us tonight, Ashley. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for pouring into us. As always, you're amazing. All right, we're going to go over to Brianna. She's going to close us up. Brianna, take it away, sister.
I'm going to keep it super short and sweet because I have a grumpy baby who is still not, so give me 1 second here, to help him. But I wanted to talk quickly about the fact that we are serving a mission field. And that might sound really weird to you to be like, a mission field. What do you mean a mission field? But it really hit me this week with everything going on. I want you to drop in the chat a one if your life is better because Bravenly is in it. Drop a one in the chat if your life is better because Bravenly is it. That I have never seen ones drop so fast. I have never seen people comment so fast. And I have come to realize that we are not selling a product. We are not selling a business opportunity. We are celebrating, LOL. We are selling a better life. We are providing people a community. We're providing people health. We're providing people an answer. Guys, if I had $1 for every person who told me, like, I have tried everything. Doctors don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And they feel hopeless. We provide hope. We provide help. We provide someone who says, like, you're not crazy for how your body is feeling, what's going on, your emotions, menopause, whatever it is. There are people who just feel so isolated and they feel like what they're going through, no one understands. And that's where we come in, especially, in today's day and age where social media is a lot of a highlight reel and there are so many people struggling. And unless we do what all these other speakers said and put in the work, we'll never know that. No one is putting on their page, oh my gosh, me and my husband are having marriage issues because my hormones are a wreck and I'm angry and my husband's in pain all the time. Okay. That's a true story from someone on my team. I had zero idea this person and her husband were struggling so poorly because of their health, and it was causing strains in their marriage. Guys, we're saving marriages, we're saving people. We are doing things that are not just selling rush. We're not just giving moms more energy. We're giving moms the ability to play with their kids again. We're giving dads relief from gut issues that make them be laying on the couch all night long and not getting to enjoy their children. We are helping moms think clearly again and be able to control the anxiety and the overwhelm and the mom rage. Okay, I've had so many people tell me, like, calm has been their lifesaver this week when they feel like the world is complete chaos and they feel so overwhelmed, and it is just crazy. You talk on the business side, we are bringing mamas home to their babies. We're bringing dads. We're maybe making it so dads don't have to work as much so that, maybe dad was working overtime or mom was also working in the weekends so that kids can have their parents back more. This is so much more than, do you want to buy my brew? Have you tried mushroom coffee before? It seems so scary, right? We feel like we're selling and we feel like it's just a product, but it couldn't be more far from the truth. This is our mission field to go out and completely change someone's life. Because I know if I wouldn't have found network marketing 5 years ago, I would be depressed. I would probably be 200 pounds heavier because all I used to do was come home and sit on the couch and drink wine. I I wouldn't have the friendships I have. So we have to remember that this is our mission field. There are a lot of people who need us out there, and God called us here on purpose for a purpose. You've heard that tonight too. My team just started reading when women say yes to God. That's not the real title. I have to think of it. I'll drop it in the Brave Collective. If someone knows what I'm talking about, my brain is not working anymore. And it's a really good book. And I read the first chapter today, and it's just God is calling us to say yes, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Sometimes it's not what we want to do. Think of that person. So my question to you tonight, my action is, who is that person that God keeps laying on your heart that you keep ignoring him about? There's someone, I bet you all have it. Drop a one in the chat if you have someone that you want to talk to Bravenly about and you keep avoiding it, because I have those people. I am always like, oh, but what if they say no or whatever? Thank you. People are dropping it when women say yes, God. Yep, we all have that person. Guys, life's too short. So go to those people Ask them, talk to them. My mama always taught me the worst thing someone can say is no. But this is our mission to go out there and to rescue people because you'll hear it time and time again that this industry, this business, this company has saved them. Just like all of us who said we are better because of Bravenly, now we need to go out there and find the men and women who need this just as badly as we did. Because, like Garrett always says, when we forget where we came from, we're on our way back. And a lot of us are completely different people from the day we enrolled, and we need to remember who those people are, and we need to go find them. We need to go rescue them and bring them with us. So I am just super excited for the rest of September. There are big things. I mean, Tara and I don't know them, but we know, knowing Aspen and knowing that kind of stuff, there are massive. If you were here last Black Friday, Cyber Monday, 12 days of Christmas, if you were around for that, that is where volume doubles, triples, quadruples. There are insane things on the way. And so if you can plug in right now, it is like a snowball. We are just creating this snowball effect. And the more you can pile on that snow now, an avalanche is about to happen. Trust me when I say an avalanche is about to happen with the things coming. And so get as many people, think of all your people as snowflakes, get as many of them on your thing as possible because you will not believe what is to come. I just know it. And so we thank you guys for jumping on. We thank you for taking time to do this because we are changing lives and making them better. So thank you so much. Oh my God, I love it. I shouldn't be wanting snow emojis, okay, people, but I do live by Fargo, okay? So um we are just super excited and let's go make this the last. So much can happen, as Tara was saying in the beginning. So much can happen. So don't count any goal out. We saw mountains be moved last month. We can do it again and it will happen. So let's go, let's rally. And I'm really excited to close out the month strong with all of you guys.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, guys.